It's no surprise that sometimes men aren't as forthcoming with their feelings as we'd like them to be. But that's often because they usually don't know how much they had feelings for someone until it's too late. Luckily, there are a few telltale signs to look out for when trying to figure out if he does have feelings for you, or someone else. Today, we'll be presenting you with 12 unmistakable signs that he's falling for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Number 1. He's a complete gentleman. Some men are just gentlemen towards women by nature. Call it a game, call it charm. Whatever you call it, being a gentleman when you're falling for someone specifically is a little different. When men are falling for someone, they are always working to make an impression on you, as you probably are to him as well. He's doing and saying all the right things, and even if his attempts fail miserably, they were from the heart, which says a lot about how he's feeling towards you. The difference between being a gentleman towards love rather than friendship is that he's respectful towards you and treats you like a lady, rather than just another one of his guy friends. Number 2. He finds your weirdness charming. Relationships are all about vulnerability and being yourself. So if you don't scare him off when you're letting your guard down and being your silly self, you can be sure he finds your quirkiness rather charming. Sure, there are plenty of guys who probably think you're cute when you're putting on your first date front, but it's the ones that stick around once you let loose and start showing your seemingly ridiculous side. Number 3. He gives you undivided attention. A great, unmistakable way of knowing if he's falling for you is how he interacts with other women. Sure, he may be interested in you, but if he's still keeping his dating game open for other options, you may be in trouble. If a guy is really falling for you, he'll intentionally let you know that you're the only one he's interested in. He really doesn't pay much attention to anyone else around him when he's with you. His eyes are locked on you and he has no desire to look away. And in a world of constant distractions, you should take it as a sure sign that he's into you. Number 4. He wants to protect you. Primarily, men are the protectors, so a great way to know if he's interested in you before he may even know it himself is if he uses this primal instinct of protection towards you. Little things like putting a hand on your back when crossing the road, or bumping up close to you when in a strange or overcrowded place together. There is actually a theory to back this up called the hero instinct, which explains that a man will only fall in love with a woman if he feels like he is her provider and protector. In fact, it's known that a man is less attracted to a woman if he doesn't feel like he can protect her. It's in their DNA. Number 5. He can't sit still. Just like an excited schoolgirl, when men are overwhelmed with interest towards another person, he can't sit still. Men, or women, get nervous around someone that they have feelings for in the beginning stages of interest, meaning they tend to fidget and shift positions constantly when they're together. Nervous laughter and feelings of insecurity may have them constantly moving around to find a sense of comfort to combat the feeling of nervousness. And it's not to give away how much they're screaming inside. Number 6. He takes you home. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Taking you home for a nice dinner date is very different to going back to his place after just meeting him at a night out at the bar. Although the guy may have good intentions for both, the unmistakable sign that he's falling for you is probably not found in a one-night stand. When a guy goes the extra length to invite you over for dinner, you can be sure that he's cleaned up a considerable amount and wants to have you in his space. Or when he begins to invite you to just have a lazy morning and breakfast in bed, you can take that as a hint that he likes having you around. And if you end up fooling around, you can say you didn't see it coming. Number 7. He's not afraid to act silly. Men can talk a good game, but if he can overcome vulnerability enough around you to show his true self, he probably really likes you. Just as he finds your silly self cute and charming, when he's really falling for you, he will begin to loosen up and show you his quirks. Maybe he feels like he needs to put on a macho game in front of his guy friends, but when you two are together and alone, he can let his guard down and be his authentic self. This is a sign of complete trust and respect for one another, a judgment-free place to be yourself, and that's a sure sign that he's falling for you. Number 8. He wants to help you. Speaking about men having primal instincts to be the protector in situations, they also want to be the fixers. Guys take pride in being able to help a woman no matter what the task, especially if he's falling for you. Maybe they insist on fixing the muffler on your car or even the bug on your computer. Men get gratification from helping the woman they love in their lives. Men want to feel essential, and they validate their sense of being needed by thriving to fix their woman's problems. In an age where a woman can do it all, this one sometimes falls back on them. If a man doesn't feel like he's needed, they're actually less inclined to fall for you. Number 9. He can forgive you. All relationships have hiccups, even brand new ones. Maybe he had to chase you because you didn't know what you wanted, or maybe he's been rejected by you before. If he makes an effort to forgive and forget these small but hurtful events, then he probably has real feelings for you. A key sign that a man is falling for you is when he prefers to make amends before things fester and get out of control. That's also a sign that he wants to be with you long term and is willing to see past your indifferences. Number 10. He doesn't stop blabbering about you. Another telltale sign that he's falling for you is when he can't stop himself talking about you to his friends and his family. Although this is a sure sign he's interested, it may be difficult to know when and if he's talking about you because you won't be around. A good way to catch on to this sign is through subtle mentions of him constantly talking about you. Maybe his family members tell you when they see you that all he talks about is you. Or maybe he tells you that his friends are teasing him because of how much he blabbers on about what you guys do together. Look out for these subtle hints and don't brush them off, because there's no better way to know that you're constantly on his mind. Number 11. He introduces you to his closest people. On the topic about his friends and family, another unmistakable sign that he's falling for you is when he introduces you to his closest circle. Not everyone gets to the point when dating, so take it as a sign that he wants to show you off. Everyone opens up at different pace, and that includes introducing their new fling to their family. But if it doesn't happen often and he chooses you to be the one to come to the family function or the friend's bash, then you can surely give a point to the "he's interested in you" scoreboard. Plus, men sometimes need the opinions of their closest people to be sure of themselves before he tells you how much he's interested in you. And lastly, number 12. He includes you in future plans. Including one another in your future predictions of life is a definite way to know if you can see yourself with them long term. Men often think with their brains rather than their emotions, which is opposite of women. So it's easier for a woman to see themselves with a person long term based merely off of the feelings she has towards the person. Meanwhile, men need to see the logic behind the situation. So when they begin talking about the future dreams and plans with you included in them, you can take that as another unmistakable sign that he's falling for you. Well, that's it for today's video, Psychos. Let us know in the comments below if you think a guy is falling for you according to these 12 signs. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more Psycho videos. We hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next one.